Not to bring religion into things, but there's this quote from the Bible I've been thinking about lately, now that I'm older. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. 1 Corinthians 13:11. I'm not sure I understand that.
Now, I don't believe in a God, at least not in the traditional sense. I mean, I think there's something, at least maybe, because why would we be here if there wasn't? But who am I to be so sure of that?
And I guess that's really my point here. I don't think now that I'm an adult, I can just put away childish things. I guess I understand what the passage is saying. When you're older, you understand the world better. You stop being so naive. You learn. But really, adults don't know any better. The world is harsher and colder, but it's not all of a sudden magically revealed to you. Nobody has authority over this whole meaning of life stuff. You could literally make it mean whatever you want and still have to go to graduations and birthday parties. Ugh.
I always thought that once I grew up and got my own place and a job and a degree, that everything would become clearer for me, but the truth is everything's fuzzier, but everyone pretends that they've all got it, trying to hold it together for some kind of imaginary judge, as if there's some threshold of good enough that once you reach it, everything's fine. You can relax.
If that's true, then why come out of retirement? It's because we're born with something to prove, some itch to scratch, that if we stop being the best we can be. And that makes us feel inadequate. So why do I feel inadequate when I'm being the best I can be and doing everything humanly possible to improve my best? Why do I feel like a failure?
I want to take the liberal arts student approach and blame it on capitalism. It's so much easier to blame everything on capitalism.
And absolutely, that's part of why I feel this way. We're sitting at tiny desks from the age of 5, doing our assigned tasks until we're allowed to stop. We learn that as our routine. It's our way of life. It's instilled in us so much that by the time we're granted freedom, some of us actually pursue more of it. Who in their right mind, after being force-fed a constant stream of information against their will, would go out of their way and sign up for more of that, pay money for it? Me, apparently, but it sounds so crazy when you put it like that.
And then, when you have no choice but to join the workforce, it's back to the same. Except this time, people assume you know everything. You've already done the sit down and listen part. Now it's time to buckle up and apply yourself.
I mean, you should know this. Didn't your parents teach you common sense? How do you not know how to talk to people? Put a smile on your face. Stop daydreaming. Be quiet. Put away childish things. It's time to be an adult.
Someone should have told us that when we got older, it was less like freedom and more like a life sentence. Congratulations! For the rest of your life, you get to make money and buy groceries and do your laundry and clean the house and cook and exercise and go to the doctor and and find time to have a family, a job, hobbies, and find yourself. I'm supposed to be finding myself right now, but I lost him somewhere in between jury duty and health insurance.
So, like anyone else, I put off finding myself and went straight into finding someone else. Not exactly for the purpose of filling an empty space, but to stop myself from thinking about that space too much. Mm. It's more like escape, not burial.
Here's the thing though, doing that just instills another moral dilemma that adds to the pile that cripples your 20s. Are you using them? Would you really be in love with them if you felt whole and perfect?
To be honest, if we all felt whole and perfect, we wouldn't pursue love. As silly as it sounds, romance would be futile if we didn't feel like we needed each other. I always tell my partner, I don't need you, I choose you. I'm not sure how true that is.
The daily weight of the world is almost impossible without someone else to bear it with you. Sharing the load, no matter how great, is practically a human necessity. People are, too.
A relationship is like a lifeguard. You know how to swim. Maybe you took swim lessons as a kid. Maybe no one taught you, but you figured it out on your own. Maybe you're still learning. My point is, you're going swimming. Now, lifeguards don't do the swimming for you. They're not going to magically inhabit your body and move your arms and breathe for you, but you're not going to be left swimming alone in the deep end.
You have the comfort of knowing the lifeguard is there watching you swim. And once you know that, you might even swim better. But if you do forget how to keep afloat, the lifeguard is going to be there to jump in after you. They'll probably tell you that was stupid, or you should practice more, but you won't be left to drown. That's why we pursue love, because we're terrible swimmers.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. Maybe that Bible quote is right in its own way. We don't exactly put away childish things when we grow up, but we just make everything more complicated. We still yearn for something, whether it's the approval of an imaginary judge or the comfort of a lifeguard watching us swim.
And maybe that's part of being human. Constantly searching and striving and sometimes stumbling, all while holding on to that childlike vulnerability and curiosity. And maybe that's what makes this journey into adulthood so beautifully messy and, in its own way, divine.
Except for taxes. Taxes are still bullshit.